You crazy mother.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's Video Game Cadet. I know I've been out for a couple weeks due to sickness, but I am back on the road ready for some game hunting this week. And oh, there's a cameo of my wife. I did bribe her by saying that we'd go to Target at some point on this trip. So she came along for this game hunting episode, which was pretty exciting. And we started off by going to the first Goodwill of the day here. You can see that we're pulling up, and this is a new Goodwill for me. I have not been in this location. It's across town, and I decided that I'd go check out a new store as the first trip of the day. I wanted some new merchandise and just, a new vibe, because I'm used to going to the same stores over and over again. So we are going to park here and go inside. Here is inside the store, and this store happened to have mostly PC games. Here is Crisis and Dawn of War 2 for the PC. If you know more about Dawn of War 2, throw it down in the comments, because I'm not really familiar with that title. Down here, there's a lot of PS2 games. Unfortunately, it's mostly Madden and other sports titles. And then down in the corner, we have Sims and some World of Warcraft and some other basic PC games I wasn't that interested in. But I did pick up UU Tournament Tactics for the Game Boy Advance. This came in a bag of Game Boy games that were all bundled together. Here's Dr. Mario. That was a pretty cool find. And then next up we have Super Mario Land. That was another great find. One that I have already a couple titles of, but I'm always ready to pick up another Mario game for the original Game Boy. That was Speedy Gonzales, and here is The Lion King right here. I don't see that one floating around too much. And then to cap it off, it's Yoshi's Cookie, another great title for the Game Boy Advance. So that came in, I think, for like $7 or $8. I got that whole bundle, so it was a pretty good price. It was on the front display of that Goodwill. So a good decision to pick up some old Game Boy games when you get the chance, especially if they're going to be Mario titles. Here we are pulling up into the second Goodwill of the day. This is one that I hit pretty often, but it has usually a pretty good stock of games, and it seems to be replenished decently often. So I try to hit this place typically once or so a week. And so we're gonna pull up into here, and I can't quite remember if I picked up anything in here, so that's the fun part about doing this live commentary, is because I'm like still kind of surprised. Okay, so I did pick up some PC games. I think I picked up BioShock here for the PC. This was a, nothing a crazy find here. It's just a solid title, and, I was interested in it. Here we have a cool item. This is Doom Collector's Edition. So it has some of the earlier Doom titles on that set. So I decided to pick that up. And then I picked up Tomb Raider 2 for the PlayStation 1. That's a pretty awesome game. I love the back there. It has like some seriously like sexual content. They're definitely playing to the boyhood demographics that they're looking to sell that game to. Some bikini-clad women. Here we are pulling up into a local thrift store. This is actually a gigantic thrift store. It just happens to not have tons of DVDs and games. It's mostly closed, but I am going to go in here and see what I can find. And I think this is right before we went to Target, so my wife was like starting to get a little antsy, like we need to go do other stuff besides just game hunting. So I'm gonna pull in here and do a quick check. I don't think she came inside with me. Oh, wait, who turned on the waddling music? Like, I don't even waddle that much, guys. Can we just turn that down a little bit? Oh man. Anyways, so I pull up into here, walk inside, and like one of the only console games I find is Forza Motorsport. So if that's your one and only title, you know that your game selection is going to be pretty horrible. I also did find a PlayStation 1 game over here, but it was just a lonely Tetris, so I decided not to pick that one up. So I got out of that store in a quick rush, hit Target, and now we're back on the game hunting right now, pulling into a Goodwill store here. I think that's the third of the day. I think I just saw a 1-hour photo, like one of those old buildings that used to be popular in the 90s. But anyways, we're going to pass that and head straight to the Goodwill and see if we can get any good game finds in this location. And this place has been pretty lucky for me. I check it really often because it's just outside my neighborhood. So sometimes I go there, 2 or 3 times a week, and I'm usually the first person to find good games when they come into the store. And here's an interesting little item. It's a all-white Xbox original. It costs $9.99. I think it's just like a white skin that somebody put on that console. But I thought it was interesting, and it's so different from the like all-black Xbox. It's such a cool contrast to the other one I have in my collection that I decided to pick it up for under $10. I thought it was a good decision. So we are on one of the last stores here of the day. This is an antique and collectors kind of boutique store. So we're gonna pull up in here, and they usually have a pretty big selection of video games. It just happens to be that they're typically overpriced, but I'll go in there every once in a while and see if I can find something that was maybe priced wrong. So, you can see here that they have a pretty big selection. Like a Super Nintendo for $75 is way overpriced though. I can go on eBay and get it for $40 or $50 without getting out of my pajamas or leaving my couch. So why am I going to come to your store, driving 20 minutes and pay extra? They have some good titles. It doesn't get refreshed very often, so it's the same titles I see every week. So there's not a lot of interest in me over at this station, but I know there's another one coming up. So, and that's this over here. So here's some cool little figurines. They're a little overpriced, so I didn't pick them up. But I think those kind of things are pretty cool. Yoshi and Mario's and stuff. They had some DS titles, nothing special, and some Super Nintendo games here. I like that NES Advantage controller, but I think it was priced at like $18, so a little out of my budget for a controller. Here's some PlayStation 2 and I think a few GameCube games in the back, but none of them were all that alluring to me, so I decided to pass on it. So that's it. You saw the game finds I had for this week. I hope you enjoyed. I have an awesome video coming out, a part of my Building a Video Game Collection series. I found some stuff that are like pretty holy grail for collectors, so make sure to tune in for that and throw me a subscribe if you enjoy.